Hey everybody, I'm David.
I'm Brenda.
We're from OutsiderBubble.com and we're coming to you with an update from Houston, Texas. That's right, you heard the word correctly, Houston, Texas.
Yes.
And why are we in Houston, Texas, you may ask? Not that, anything's wrong with Houston. There's nothing wrong with Houston except that there's a lot of people and a lot of industry in Houston.
It's not one of our usual stops, so it's definitely different for us.
It is. However, unfortunately, I'll start this off real quick and real easy and dig right into it. Hi, I'm Dave Bott and I have prostate cancer. Didn't expect it, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Yes. Back in July of...
This past July.
This past July of 2020. 2020 sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, understand, it's a low-grade prostate cancer. It's on the Gleason scale, they call it a 3+4. So for those of you who want to look that up, please feel free. I'm not going to get into that right now. But it's a low-grade prostate cancer. The unfortunate issue is that I was diagnosed with it, and it is throughout my gland, throughout my entire prostate gland. It's not just one quadrant or something like that. It's if you have a biopsy ever done on your prostate, they usually take 12 samples. 7 of my 12 samples had cancer cells related to that.
Now, some of you may ask, well, you know that in the summertime we're back in the Rochester, New York area where our doctors are. And this is why, he got diagnosed in the summertime.
Yeah. And so why are we here in Houston now to deal with this? Well, that's because MD Anderson. MD Anderson is the top clinic in the world for cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
for 31 years now.
31 years in a row. So why not? Literally, we live on the road. So why not go to the best place you can possibly go to try to take care of an issue like prostate cancer?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the advantages of living in a motor coach full time is you get to pick and choose, usually, where you want to have treatment.
It all depends on the severity and everything. Now, we were in upstate New York. The University of Rochester is up there, who is also a well-renowned cancer area. However, when we were talking to my urologist up there and a surgeon and a radiologist and who did the original biopsy, they said they couldn't do anything for me until November or so. And we obviously wouldn't be there in November because of the cold.
Yeah.
The parks are closed.
They just get busy, and because of COVID, things got behind. So, yeah, that's why they were so far behind in surgeries.
And we heard the name MD Anderson a number of times, even from the surgeon who was talking to me about having surgery done.
He knew that we traveled.
He knew we traveled, and he said, look, we can't get to you until November anyways. Hey, if there's any way you can get to Texas and Houston, go to MD Anderson. And so we knew nothing about MD Anderson. And we did a search, and we started researching, and we found out they're the top cancer place
center.
To be, cancer center. All they do is cancer. That's all they do. For 31 years straight, they've been rated the top cancer center in the U.S.
Yeah, and in being so, this campus that we've gone to is huge.
Oh my gosh!
But one of the nice advantages of being in one of these areas is there's lots of RV parks to choose from.
And there are, and that makes a difference because we found this lakeside RV resort. No.
I
screwed up.
That was Louisiana.
Oh.
We're in Houston, Texas. We're at South Lake RV Resort.
South Lake RV Resort. In typical David fashion, I screw something up in one of our videos.
He doesn't know where he is.
And I don't know where I am. So let's say that again. Where are we, Brenda?
We're at South Lake RV Resort in Houston, Texas.
And one of the reasons we're there is because they literally cater to people like me, or in this case, us.
Yes.
Who need to come to MD Anderson for treatment. And because you have no idea what type of treatment you may be in for, they have no idea how long you'll be here.
Yeah, you could be here for just 2 or 3 weeks, or you could be here all winter long. You just don't know.
You don't know. And the cool thing about this place is and they recognize the reason most people are in this RV park. A lot of people are, and the surrounding RV parks for the most part, but this one in particular, is that they realize you're here because you're probably going to MD Anderson for something.
Yeah, so as David says, they cater to people like this, and this is how. When you book a site, they basically hold that site for you. You want to explain a little further?
A little further is that, for example, we book it for a month,
Yep.
and then if we need to extend, we get to stay in the same site for another month. And as long as we tell them 5 days
Before checkout.
all we need to do is 5 days before checkout, we can stay in the same site. And that's important. That's very important, because normally they would, like any other campground throughout the U.S., they would want to book the site. So if you're booked for a month, I mean, one day after that month, somebody else may already be booked in this site, and you have to move or go somewhere else.
Yeah, and if you're going through treatment or anything, you're not going to want to have to pack up and try and find another place and then park and get all settled again. You're just going to want to have to relax and not deal with any of that, and that takes the pressure off of everybody big time.
Now, in our case, Brenda's capable of moving this motor coach, which is great. So if I am going through treatment, whatever, chemo, radiation, whatever that might deteriorate me to some degree, then Brenda is able to move the coach, and that is a great asset to have. That is why it's very important that your counterpart knows how to actually do something with the motor coach itself.
Yes.
But in this case, because of the RV park we're at, we don't have to do that. We don't have to worry about moving at all, period, as long as we tell them 5 days in advance.
Yeah.
So that is a key thing. Living on the road in this particular case, living in full-time in a motor coach, is a very positive thing, because we were able to come to MD Anderson. And let me tell you, coming to MD Anderson has been amazing.
Yeah.
Totally amazing. Right down to the Loki factor. You like how I put that? The Loki factor?
I do.
Now, Loki, for some of you who may know, he's laying on the dashboard right now. So when I mentioned his name, he looked up at me. But in any case, Loki is my service dog. He is a PTSD dog, high anxiety service dog. He reacts to my anxiety levels and lets me know when I need to get out of situations that I'm in, and tries to draw my attention to him versus the issue that I'm being caused by in my surroundings. Because of Loki, he's allowed me to go to places like Target and grocery shopping and things like that.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. Yes, pre-COVID.
Yes.
Good point. We are in the age of COVID when you're watching this video. I don't know when you may be watching this video, but we are during COVID. This video is being recorded on November 24th, 2020. And by the way, 2020 sucks.
Yes.
Any case. So,
well, speaking of COVID, that's also a nice thing, is we're in our own home here.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about staying in a hotel and, strangers going in and out of the room, cleaning the room and stuff. We're in our own place.
We're always in our own place. No matter if we're traveling across country or whatever, we're always living in our own home.
Yeah.
So we are the safest we can possibly be, which is great to us. And it's also great to Loki. And Loki has been with us every step of the way through this process, from the doctor's offices to the visits to I had to have a fusion biopsy done just to confirm what University of Rochester found. But unfortunately, when the fusion biopsy was done, they actually found more extensive cancer in my prostate than the University of Rochester, who did a normal biopsy that was done right in the doctor's office, which took 10 minutes. A fusion biopsy takes an hour at least, because I'm
sedated.
I'm sedated. Yeah. And Loki was with me every step of the way, and I have to give total kudos to MD Anderson. Loki was not only allowed to every one of my appointments, he was allowed in to the waiting room, and to the extent, and the kudos, major kudos to the nurses.
Yeah, when David was coming out of anesthesia and he was in the recovery room, once he was stable enough and still halfway lucid.
Loki, they opened up the curtain, they said, "You have a visitor," and there was Brenda She
yes,
was there too.
I was there too.
She was there too. But there was Loki right next to her side, and Loki took one look at me, and he knew I needed something, and so he was pacing back and forth, wanting to get up on that bed so bad,
and a slippery floor. There's no carpeting.
Yeah, and the nurse said it's okay. And we put you in a separate room for recovery just because we knew about Loki. Everybody here knows about Loki, which we kind of chuckled
It
at.
was in his record.
It was actually in my records that I have a service dog that travels with me. It was amazing, and everybody along the way, all the nurses and everything were just great. They all wanted to meet Loki and everything, and it was just a wonderful experience. So when that recovery room came about, Loki jumped up they allowed Loki to jump up on the bed, and he laid with me for a half hour there.
The entire time.
The entire time I was coming out of recovery. And understand that I'm off. For those of you who don't know, I suffer from severe depression and anxiety, high anxiety levels, based on a stroke I had back when I was 40. And because of that, my brain was rewired, and we've tried lots and lots and lots of different meds. And the best medicine of all, thanks to DogWorks Academy in Taylor, Texas, has become Loki.
Yes, they're the ones that did the training for Loki.
Yes. But in any case, we wanted to bring you up to date on what's been going on.
Why we're in Houston.
Why we're in Houston, why we're not in Burleson, which was where we normally would be right now, and why also we're not going to Arizona.
And for those of you that did know that why we were coming here to Houston because you watched our live drives,
Yep.
A lot of people have checked in to see how we're doing, and we really appreciate that.
I thank you for the emails. I thank you for the comments. A lot of you picked up when we were doing our live drive coming to Houston. I mentioned why we were coming to Houston. And was because of MD Anderson. And a lot of people looked up MD Anderson and finding out they're a cancer center. And I did mention, I believe I mentioned I had prostate cancer.
Yes, you did.
And we got a lot of feedback and a lot of replies. And we do appreciate each and every one of our followers out there and our subscribers. And we thank you very much for the kind results. But since I've been getting so many emails lately about how am I doing, we wanted to bring you up to date. Right now, I am scheduled for surgery, a radical prostatectomy using the Da Vinci robot. A robot, of course, it had to be a robot.
No, they won't let him play with the robot. He did ask.
I did ask. It's the Da Vinci robot, which is the state-of-the-art procedure for doing radical
prostatectomy, or however you pronounce it.
Yep. Right now, we are scheduled for the
January 13th.
January 13th of 2021. So we'll be out of 2020. So hopefully things will be better, and 2020 will be a better year. However, with that said, I do have an appointment to talk with the the MD Anderson
radiation oncologist.
Radiation team.
Yeah.
Understand, MD Anderson works as a team. They offer you the best approach based on what they think is the best right for the patient. Again, they take the patient into the account, not just the disease. And that is totally evident by Loki and how they reacted to Loki, and understanding the patient's needs to have his service dog available to him. And that is amazing. That's totally amazing. So not only do I already have surgery scheduled for January 13th, but next week I'll be talking to the radiology team and the oncologist team to talk to me about other treatments, which we are aware of. There are other treatments, but every treatment of prostate cancer comes with side effect.
Yeah.
And it quite literally, if you have a cancer, prostate cancer is the best cancer ever to get because it's curable.
That's what they say.
And it's curable to an extent.
Doesn't mean it doesn't suck.
I'm 54 years old, which is young for this.
Yeah.
And because of that, it comes with side effects I'd much rather not have at my age. I don't want to end up feeling like an older person, older than my 54-year-old age. But
we'll just leave it at that.
But it's part of it. In any case, it's part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I just have to get through it and understand it. And I'm lucky enough to have Brenda of 26 years. who understands all of it and is willing to accept whatever decision we both come to. She leaves it up to me, but I have to take her into account, obviously.
Well, as you say, it's just another chapter in the book of life.
Because without chapters, you only have a flyer, and who the hell wants to die with a flyer?
Yeah.
I want a book.
Yeah.
So I just threw this in there because, cancer, why not? It's another chapter. So, hey, I'm trying to be positive on this whole thing, obviously. It's all we can do. It is what it is. Life is life. Life goes on. And we appreciate each and every one of you out there. Thank you for your thoughts, for those of you who know. But I wanted to bring you up to date on where we were at this point.
Yeah.
And if you have not checked out our blog, we have more information on our blog, outsideourbubble.com. Outsideourbubble.com is our blog. For those YouTube subscribers who don't know, we have an actual blog. We do, and we do document things there.
Yeah.
So in any case, you've now been brought up to date. And by the way, this is one of the reasons over the last year I haven't been doing many videos. Because quite literally with my depression and anxiety, I just don't have the... I can't get myself motivated to do things. Even doing this video, this is 4 days in the making. Not kidding.
Yeah.
It took me 4 days to shoot this video. And I'm finally shooting it. So, any case, hope you all are well. Keep safe. Wear a mask during this time of COVID, please. And we'll see you down the road for sure. And we'll keep you up to date at some point or another.
Yeah.
But if you don't see videos from me, this is one of the reasons why. I'm going to try to do some videos. I've done over 350 YouTube videos. How much more can I do on RVing? There's not much more you can talk about. Oh my. In any case, I'm Dave Bott.
I'm Brenda.
Over there is Loki laying there, and we're from outsideourbubble.com, and we're saying thank you very much, and we love each and every one of you. Take care, keep safe, see you on the road.
Bye, guys.
Bye.